Hey everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I'm going to do a quick read tonight. It's not going to be long. I'm just going to read Proverbs 29 tonight. It's not going to be really long. I'm in my room. I'm sitting on the floor. Not good lighting, not good anything. I'm just in here. The living room is getting painted, which is all over me. So I'm just going to read a little bit tonight, and I'm going to jump on each platform. So I'm on TikTok first, and I'm going to do Facebook, then I'm going to do Instagram, and possibly YouTube tonight. So I'm going to try to hit all 4 of them. The kids have the tablet. That's why I'm doing each of them separate. So hey everybody. How was your guys' day? Good evening. Hey. What's going on, everybody? Got my Bible. Boom. Boom. Hi. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm going to be in the book of Proverbs tonight. I had to pray and ask God where he wanted me at tonight. I just needed direction, and I stumbled upon this, and I knew instantly that God wanted me to just sit and just read it and just let this sit with somebody, just because there's so much stuff happening right now in the end of this year. So I know we see a lot of deaths and a lot of births and a lot of people getting locked up, and all kind of crazy crap is happening right now because it's the end of the year or whatever. But God is saying, fret not. He sees all. He knows all. And he's about to step in, of course. But tonight I'm going to be in Proverbs 29. And if you don't, thank you. If you don't really read Proverbs is a lot of parables in one. So you're going to hear a lot of analogies. Don't let that, intimidate you. It's just God trying to be relatable to us, or Solomon, because he wrote it to us so we can understand. So I'm going to read a little bit, and if the analogy seems like it's a little bit much, I'm going to break it down. But it's good to have your own relationship with the Bible itself. Thank you. So no one can try to trip you up, or, no one can. I don't really argue when it comes to God, because God is who he is. So people can think what they want. They can think it's no God. They can think whatever, because it's not for me to prove, because I know what God has done in my life. So, but it's just so you can have substance for your own self. So I'm going to read this to you, but I challenge you guys to go back and do your homework and then read it yourself. And I don't know why he wanted me to hit 29. I'm sorry. I don't know why he wanted me to sit in 29, because I would go in the beginning, but I just do whatever he tells me. Which version am I reading out of? I don't know. The Thomas Kindle version. So the New King James version. Yeah. And I found my Bible too. It's on Amazon. This one is called Holy Bible by Thomas Kincaid, and it's really big. So anyway, we're going to be in Proverbs 29, and we're in the New King James version. We're in the New King James version. And I'm just going to read a little bit to you guys. Again, don't get intimidated by the parables. It's just how Solomon broke it down at that point in time. And remember, Solomon was the wisest man. Everybody from nations came to see him. So we want to sit with that and give him homage to the wisdom that he had. And now that we're able to see that wisdom and read that wisdom, and just keep that in our back pocket. So I'm just going to start. So Proverbs 29 says, he who is often rebuked and hardness of his neck will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. Thank you. My little Bible falling out. My page is falling out. So he who is often rebuked hardens his neck and will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. So when I read that, I go back to Moses. Anytime I, read something, I think about everybody in the Bible, and it says who hardened his neck. And Moses was like these stiff-necked people. They're very hard of hearing. We would call them hard-headed people, don't want to listen, prideful people, all of those things or whatever. He says they will be destroyed without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked man rules, the people groan. self-explanatory. When you put somebody that is humble, that is just, that is pure, and power and position, everybody is good because everybody is getting what they deserve equally. The finances are reigning equally. The justice system is reigning equally. All of these things are equal when you put a righteous person in position. But when a wicked man rules, the people groan. Sort of what we're going through right now in this day and age. You'll think like this book was written how many years ago? Come on. And it still resonates with where we are now. We have all of these nasty politicians, nasty government officials, nasty presidents, and all kind of stuff. You got kids being over here in the slave industry in Congo. You got Palestine and Israel going through what they're going through. You got Russia and Ukraine. You got all of these things from these unjust rulers, these power people that only want their positions. You can't feed people in America, but you can send billions of dollars to somewhere else where homeless people are freezing solid up north, but you have money to send for this. That's all unjust. That is all prideful. That is all wicked. And you hear the people groaning. And that's what this is saying. It's saying when a wicked man rules, the people groan. You hear everybody complaining. You can't even scroll down TikTok right now or any social media without some people saying like, how can we even afford food? How can we this? How can we that? How can we this? That was back then he wrote this, and it's still relevant to today because wicked people are in high places. And so since the wicked people are in high places, they have control over a majority of finances and food and all kind of things like that. So that's what that's saying in verse 2. Whoever loves wisdom makes his father rejoice, but a companion of harlots wastes his wealth. Whoever loves wisdom, because wisdom brings everything to it. Like Solomon said, I just want wisdom. It brings the wealth. It brings all of these things because you didn't ask for anything for yourself. But a companion of harlots wastes his wealth. The ones that's out here wasting money. You know what a harlot is? That's what happens. He squanders his inheritance. He squanders the finances. He money launders. He does all of these things with the money. Verse 3, whoever loves wisdom, verse 4, the king establishes the land. The king establishes the land by justice, but he who receives bribes overthrows it. We already know. We already know how many people can be bought with money. We see all the celebrities. This is literally self-explanatory. So when I read this, I look at where we are right now. And I resonate now versus then. And then I sit it all together and my mind conceptualizes all of these things. So right now we're in that. People can be bought. If you say you want to slap your mama for $1 million right now, everybody be like, oh, I'll slap her. I'll do it. I'll do it because you can be bought. When in all reality, you'll be like, I have to honor my mama. I have to honor my father. I can't do that. I got to turn your money down because not all money is good money. And for the love of money is the root to all evil. You have to have honor. You have to have integrity. No one should be able to buy you. You're not to be bought. You can't be bought. No matter how much blood money they try to give you, you cannot be bought. Your integrity, your honor cannot be bought. And I know a lot of people like, I hear her talking about, they said $1 million, mama, where you at? See, you got a price. You got a price and the devil knows it. So the devil will offer you up. Look at all these people up here that got all these soul contracts with the devil because the devil knew they had a price. You have to be priceless in this season. You have to be priceless no matter what the devil offers you. You cannot take the bait because the devil is waiting on you to take the bait. The devil is waiting. So let me keep going. Overthrows it. 5, a man who flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet. By transgression, an evil man is snared. But the righteous sings and rejoices. 7, the righteous considers the cause of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such knowledge. I love the way it said that the righteous considers the cause of the poor, but the wicked does not understand such knowledge. How many people are very angry at homeless people for being on the side of the road? I've seen police walk up, pull them over. I've seen people throw stuff at them, spit at them, kick their stuff, beat them up, all kind of stuff. The wicked doesn't understand such knowledge. They don't understand why you poor. They don't understand why you ain't took the blood money. They don't understand why you get evicted and you got to ask for a little piece of change. They don't understand it because they will sign the blood contract before they go out looking like you looking out here. But in reality, you are the one that's going to actually gain the wealth, gain the fortune, because you just down for a second. That doesn't mean a lifetime. You're just down for a second. They're looking down on you, but God is looking up to you. And he's like, I'm getting ready to bless you. So let them look down at you for a second. Let them look down at you for a second. That don't mean you're going to be there. That don't mean that's your final destination. Ain't nobody ever said that. It says the righteous considers the poor. God is watching you. He's watching everything you've been going through. He's watching how you took the L and you learning. He's watching how you ain't blame everybody when you got fired or whatever. You took it and you was like, I'm going to get up. I'm going to get better because it had to be a lesson. You're not saying why me. You saying why not me? Why not? Why the devil ain't trying me? You understand that you got to go through a little bit of things because you about to make it out. But the unrighteous, they don't understand. They don't understand that. They try to get the homeless locked up. They try to get their streets cleaned up. Why they sleeping on the side of the road? Because people fell on hard times. And sometimes we can be one paycheck away from being on the bottom too. Some of us are one paycheck away from being homeless ourselves. You have to be careful because what is up always has to come down. Whether you come down nice and soft or whether you come down hard. You have to be mindful when you turning your nose up to people. You got to be mindful because the same people you turning your nose on, you can be working for them tomorrow. They can be the CEO of a major billion-dollar company tomorrow just because you see them down. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. That's why you have to be careful how you treat people. Because just because you see somebody down doesn't mean they're out. Just because you see somebody on their low doesn't mean that that's it for them. It's not the end all be all for them. Just because you see that. You don't know who somebody is. Imagine how they were talking to David when he went out there to go fight Goliath. His own brothers was going off on him. What you came out here for? And David was like, why are you being weird to me? Like, what? I'm not even trying to fight you. You got all this animosity, but you won't go fight Goliath. Why are you being weird to me? Not knowing the whole time that he was a giant killer. Not knowing the whole time that he was a king. And that he was one of the kings that they had to make a song about. Saul had slayed thousands, but David had slayed tens of thousands. They didn't understand who he was. But it wasn't for David to prove who he was to nobody. And it's not for you. You let God do the talking for you. Because just like they took they behind in their dress and they find his linens and left David out there in the field with the sheep thinking that he wasn't going to get his blessing. But God said, you're not going to sit down until my son get here. Not knowing he was going to be the king. They never know when it's your time. They never know. Treat people with respect. You never know who's next. You never know who's next. You never know. It says, 8. Scoffers set a city aflame, but wise men turn away wrath. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether the fool rages or laughs, there will be no peace. The bloodthirsty hate the blameless, but the upright seek his well-being. A fool vents his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. I'm going to sit on this because I had made sure I put a little asterisk next to it. A fool vents his feelings, but a wise man holds them back. I was going through something the other day, right? And I was so angry. And normally I'll call up somebody and I'll be telling them. But I sat with God in the car and I wrote God a letter. And I wrote out everything that I was feeling, how this person made me feel, and I wrote it all out and I sealed it up and I said, God, you're my only friend because I'm not finna give the enemy any ammunition. I'm not finna get a devil any kind of thing to make it twisted and have me back. And because when you're surrounding yourself around yes men, they're going to tell you that you're right. And I don't have accountability partners like I need to. So I got to be the accountability. And I'm not finna just vent everything that I'm going through in my life and in my household and my jobs and stuff like that to everybody, because some people just want to be a listening ear just to go run and tell something. And other people want to make sure, some of them work for the devil, so they want to see your demise. So they're going to tell you the wrong things. Hold back. Hold back what you're feeling. Hold back all that stuff, because some people just want to see you fall, and they'll give you the wrong advice and sit back and laugh. They'll give you the wrong advice so they can sit back and laugh. So you have to be mindful of the people you're venting to. Make sure you be mindful of a vent. You got to be mindful. Because if some vents don't have filters, they can get clogged up. Let's be for real. So, 12. If a ruler pays attention to lies, all of his servants become wicked. I love that. Even like in job atmospheres, if you always, that coworker that lies, and they run and tell something so quick, and then you got the boss that's their favorite, whatever, right? So they all on their side, and you like they lying, but the boss entertain that. So now you have good workers, and now they becoming bad workers because you're entertaining that foolishness. And then you have a toxic work environment. And then even in the household, you got a toxic household. Like you got all of these toxic things happening or whatever. So then it says, the poor man and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives light to his eye. The poor man and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives light to the eyes of the both. So it's saying that the oppressors and the poor have one thing in common. And it's light that God gives you every day. You wake up every single day. Every single day. So they have something in common. 14. The king who judges the poor with the truth, his throne will be established forever. The rod and the rebuke of wisdom, but the rod and the rebuke give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings shame to his mother. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous will see their fall. Let me read that again, 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous will see their fall. When I read it, I thought about Psalms 91, when it says, I think it's 8 or 9. It says, only with your eyes will you see the wicked fall. And you're going to see all of these, because everything in life has a time limit. If you go all the way back to Ecclesiastes, everything in life has a time limit. And the wicked, although their reign might seem long, especially when you're going through it, and it's very long when you're going through it, it all has a time limit. But you are going to see and hear the wicked fall. You are going to see and hear the wicked fall. Just sit back and watch. 17. Correct your son and he will give you rest. Yes, he will give you delight to your soul. I'm very touchy on that, because a lot of people like to parent how they parent. I don't play when I parent my kids, because if I correct them now, the world ain't got to correct them. The prison system ain't got to correct them. None of that stuff got to correct my kids. If I correct my kids, because I'm their mother, and I have to build them up for this world, because this world will tear you down. So I'm very strict when it comes to my kids and stern, but I also I give equal of both. But if you correct your children when they're wrong and not sit around here and pacify their bad behavior, you're going to have great and upstanding citizens in this world. And the world, we got enough foolishness happening right now. We got enough foolishness out here. We got enough gang banging, killing, shootouts, all this stuff. And I stay in the neighborhood where it has like all of that. So I'm not going to have my children be out here being no statistic or being dead or being in no gang or none of that, because they're going to know home is safe. Home has rules and regulations, but home is safe. And my mama and my father, they love us. They always gonna know that. You have to train a kid up, and they know God. So you have to train your children. I know gentle parenting and all that stuff. Womp, womp, womp. I don't play when it comes to my kids. Everybody sees how mannerable they are. And yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. They're very loving, but they know that they're loved, and they know that they will be punished. Also, you have to have both. It has to be equal amounts of both. You can't have these snotty-nosed, bratty children. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. So that's just my take. Correct your son. 18. Where there is no revelation, the people will cast off restraint. But happy is he who keeps the law. A servant will not be corrected by mere words, for though he understands, he will not respond. Do you see a man hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than him. Be careful with your words. Don't just, I have some people that I know that they just say whatever. They say whatever. You can't just say whatever, especially when you have an anointing on you, because one, words are powerful, and two, they're going to come to pass. So when I started walking with God, I had to change the way I even spoke to myself, because I'd be like, I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb for that. Oh my goodness. Why did I do that? I'm so dumb. And it will become that way. So you have to start even speaking life to yourself, because now instead of saying I'm so stupid, I'm like, oh, I forgive myself for doing that. Why did I do that? What's the lesson in that? And I stopped saying I'm sorry and say I apologize instead, because I'm not sorry. I apologize for those actions. You have to change the verbiage that you're actually speaking to, because life and death is truly in the power of your tongue. He who pampers his servant from childhood will have him as a son in the end. An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgressions. A man's pride will bring him low, but the humble in spirit will retain honor. Whoever is a partner with a thief hates his own life. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. A thief does what? A thief steals. So whoever is partnered with a thief hates his own life. He swears to tell the truth, but reveals nothing. A liar. I always say, if you lying, who is your father? If you got a problem with lying, but you proclaim to love God, you got to choose a side, because God doesn't do that. The spirit of truth is with God. You got to fix that lying tongue. And if you tell one lie, you got to tell 2, 3, 4, and then you got to keep going with it. And now you mad and want to fight other people because they remember the lies you tell. Come on now. Just tell the truth. The fear of a man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord shall be safe. Many seek a ruler's favor, but justice for man comes from the Lord. Many seeks a ruler's favor, but justice for man comes from the Lord. God is saying, if you really want favor, if you really want justice, come to me. Come to me. An unjust man is an abomination to the righteous, and he who is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. So we made it. We did 27 verses in chapter 29. That's it. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to get on Facebook, and then I'm going to Instagram. But this is just what God wanted me to read. He wanted me to sit here and do like a quick Bible study with you guys, give you guys a couple of parables to meditate on tonight. But it's just basically just teaching you what's right and what's wrong. And it's showing you how to walk in wisdom and to not lie, to not be a thief, to despise anger and hate and all these things. And be careful with your words. Be careful how you raise your kids up. It's just basically giving you the knowledge and the tools of life. And that's literally all of Proverbs. I know. We like to focus on Proverbs 31. And I could read that, yes. And it tells women how to be that wife. But also you need to know how to be that mother and how to be that woman. And that's all in Proverbs. How to be that wife is great. But how to be a good person, a human being, is all throughout Proverbs. Honor, love, respect, humbleness, all is in Proverbs. And that's who we're striving to be. We have enough corruption. We have enough coercion and all of these things out here in the world. We have enough. So now we need to learn how to be good people. And if it just starts by not telling a white lie, not by thieving, not by being angry at people, or not by telling all your business to people, one step at a time is all God is asking for. He knows what you can and can't do. One step at a time is fine with God. Just start somewhere. If you're just joining in, I was in Proverbs 29 and I read 1 through 27. I'm about to go skedaddle to Facebook and read it all again. So I love you guys, and I pray you have a good night. And I pray that this was a blessing to some people and it made sense. And as always, let me leave off with how I'm going to leave off from all of my lives, because everybody keeps messaging me. Everybody keeps messaging me about all of these fake pages. So now I'm going to put this in the actual lives, which is I only have one TikTok, one YouTube, one Facebook, one Instagram. And I don't have any others, no other pages. Don't DM me and ask me. I only have one Cash App, one PayPal, one Zelle. Cash App is Pastor Lendaria Watts. PayPal and Zelle is LendariaWatts4@gmail. That's it. That's all. No more messages. Got it. Anyway, I love you guys and have a good night.